Good morning or afternoon. It's almost afternoon. It's like 11 something or other. Um, it's been the last couple days have been kind of chaotic. I'm not going to get into detail about most of it because some of you might, sit there and go, well, that has nothing to do with me because I'm not interested in that stuff. That's fine, Danny. I mean, man was already dropping off a package. Okay. Um, it's that time of year where packages are just going to get dropped off left and right because I have packages coming from mom, from friends and family, packages for Jerry, packages for me, packages for Lisa. And because it's summertime, or not summertime, I wish it was summertime. It's Christmas time. I don't open up packages unless it's something I know I ordered because I'll make sure it has my name on it. And I told Jerry, if you're ordering packages that you don't want me to look at, don't put my name on it because I will open it up and go, oh, think that's supposed to be a Christmas present for somebody. Um, but we're we're actually having some good days. Um, Jerry put out yesterday her report from her doctor, the good report about how her bones are starting to recalcify. That's the word I wanted to look for earlier. I did a video earlier and I screwed it up because um I went down a rabbit hole and that had nothing to do with what I wanted to talk about. Um, but yes, she's getting better. The reason why I was not there in the doctor's office at the time when she was going, when they were doing the CT scans, is I had an eye doctor's appointment at the same time she had her doctor's appointment. And I did not get to sit there to talk to the doctors. I read her after visit report, which is, it's not a big pamphlet, but it's like maybe 2-3 pages long, depending on what all it is, about the visit. And then we were waiting for the actual final information that comes across to us on the portal. And I said that I was not, that it was during my doctor's appointment, which, sorry, I'm stuttering because I'm trying to remember the events without getting embellished. But when she got the reports, I was actually out here in the kitchen making compote and oatmeal when she got the report. And when I got done making the oatmeal and taking it into her, she was like, "I need a hug," and I'm like, "What happened? What's going on?" Um, she goes, "It's all good. It's all good. I got the report back," and I'm like, "Well, let's see it," And she read the report because I have trouble with some of the medical jargon, but I was holding the phone, and because she already read it, she was able to repeat the information. I was like, "Okay, what does this mean? Okay, okay. What does that mean? Oh, it basically the bones were recalcifying, and the tumor on the kidney had shrunk." So I was like, "Okay, this sounds great. Break it down in layman's terms because I don't understand the full, all the information because I'm not that here or with it when it comes to medical information. I just listen and go, I'm a moron. Can you break it down to simple terms and quit using all this Latin stuff?" Um, Latin stuff is basically medical terminology, not actual Latin. Um, Basically, she is now healing well enough to be able to go on road trips, which, she's already done, but did she go with her brace on? I think she had her no, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, she only went to one road trip and she still had the brace on at that time. But that basically means that our road trip to Tulsa in a week from this coming Saturday, or a week from this weekend, basically. So next weekend, the 19th. She don't need no brace. She just needs to be mindful of, no extreme lifting, no extreme bending. Not, she can bend in half. She can stoop. She can bend in half, or bend over, however you want to call it. But she can't lift, anything that's extremely heavy. I think the doctor said nothing over 15 pounds, 10 or 15 pounds. I might be wrong on that. It might be less or more. I don't know. But basically, the doctor is giving her the go ahead to live her life. Just take certain precautions. And if there's, days where she has, I don't have a drink in here, days where she has like a lot of pain, to one, take, get off her feet and lay down and then call the doctor. And if it's extreme, the doctor may tell her to go to the emergency room, but he doesn't think it's going to be that bad just because of her rate of healing and how much she's healed in the last, when was that last CT? 6 months? 2 months? 6 months? 6 months maximum. I think it's less than that, but I can't remember. I just know that 6 months is like some sort of marker of like how often we go is every 6 months or so. But I was ecstatic. I was happy. I almost like went, I'm gonna call out of work so we can paint the town red, but I didn't do that. I was just extremely happy and full of energy, and that might have been one of the reasons why I couldn't sleep Monday night, because that's when she got the report. But I'm really happy for her. I've got a lot of like joy and energy and positive stuff. Oh, okay. Positive stuff. I'm sorry. It's a combination of I'm actually kind of tired, physically tired mostly. But I just, a good day all around, and I'm extremely happy. I don't see any reason not to be. But of course, being my wife's husband, and I do help her out with comments, even though there's a couple people, or at least 2 people, on her channel from her video from yesterday. And I'm like, all right, I need the trolls to go back to their dung holes and leave us alone, because I don't understand these people. Okay. I don't care where they come from. I don't care if they're from the bakery or from Diane's channel or just, idiots. Okay, like the one person was talking about how at her age of 64, dealing with colon cancer, that Jerry can be so robust and happy and positive and whatnot with stage 4 kidney. And I just so wanted to delete that, but I'm like, no, I'm going to let Jerry explain it, because if I go on there and explain it my way, they're just going to think I'm just being mean and over, whatever. I have no problem with people who don't understand how Jerry can be the way Jerry is with stage 4, while that person is dealing with stage 3 or whatever cancer of a different kind. We've said it multiple times. each individual human being has their own way of dealing with a situation, whether it could be negative or positive. Jerry chooses positivity because she doesn't want to think about the negativity, because the negative energy basically it brings you down. It's useless. All it does is make your life miserable. And Jerry's always had a positive outlook. She's always found the silver lining around the cloud. She doesn't let much get her down. What gets her down the most is the loss of loved ones that she's had to deal with. And I mean, I can understand that because I have the same issue twice a year, every May, which is around my father's birthday, and towards Christmas time, because my father was the person who would pick the tree, bring the tree home. He hated fake trees. It always had to be a real tree. But he would bring it home. He would put it up, let it come out and, be the way it's supposed to be, and then start to, get everybody involved in decorating. I can't stand real trees anymore because of pine needles and allergens and just various different things, even though I'm thinking this year I might try to get a small one. Because even if it's just a small one for one of the rooms, or to put on the round table in the living room, I need pine needles. I really need pine needles. The pine needles are for ingredients, but that's beside the point. To me, it's one of those things where instead of being rude and negative and whatnot about Jerry's prognosis, why not be supportive? Why not be, hey, you're conquering you're conquering cancer. You're beating cancer's ass. You're looking really good, and you look like you're ready to go out and live your life. And no, these people have to be like, oh yeah, it's a miracle. Diane said it was going to be a miracle. Blah 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 blah. Like, you know what? Take your negativity and stick it up your rump and go back to your troll hole. Because one, we're not going to let it affect us like you want it to. Two, we're either going to ignore it and delete it, or we're going to give you our opinion or our answer or how we feel. And as far as I'm concerned, Jerry can do that, and I'm going to tell Jerry this. She can go make her replies and make her comments to these people, but if these people want to just continue to perpetuate the garbage, I will personally delete it. So if those of you who are just watching my channel and then go over to Jerry's channel to be negative, if your comment disappears, it's because of me. I'm the one who deleted it, not Jerry. Because those of you who are going over to Jerry's channel, and I know who you are. I've seen you on Diane's channel agreeing with Diane. I've seen you make comments on Jerry's channel. The only reason why I'm going over to Diane's channel now is not to listen, because I don't listen to it. I'm going on there to find out who is backstabbing my wife by going to Diane and then coming over to my wife's channel and either spewing more of Diane's garbage or trying to play this nice game where you're trying to play both sides of the fence. I don't take too kindly to that kind of crap. I really don't. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you're either with us or you're against us. And if you're against us, no. I don't play that game. Now, if you want to sit back and watch our channels and not say anything, that's fine and dandy. That's your choice. Everything's a choice. Just like it's our choice how we deal with the negativity and the people who are being negative towards us. The only difference between Jerry and myself is I'm the guy that looks for stuff. I'm the guy that will research. I'm the guy who will look up information. I'm not saying that Jerry doesn't look up her, her information or whatnot, but I'm the guy that likes to weed out the trouble. And I don't mean just like snip, snip, snip. I mean swinging a battle axe and, removing the weeds. I have no problems. I tell people all the time, you got a problem with my wife, you have a problem with me. Because as a husband, as a Norseman, as a Wiccan, I'll protect my wife with all I have. With my last dying breath, I will be the one in front of my wife saying, if you have anything bad to say to my wife or to do to my wife, you're going through me first. I have no problem with that. Challenges to me, I've had them all my life. You're just another challenge. Just another challenge to me. I have a couple challenges that I have in my brain that I want to go deal with. But I have two problems. One, I can't do it here in the U.S. The U.S. does not have the climate or the high mountains. And it has to actually go climb a mountain. I may not be able to do that, but it's on my bucket list. Okay. The other thing, I want to find a group of people that do mock combat. Now, I don't mean paintball. I mean old school padded, armor, non-lethal archaic weapons and shields. I want to do a mock Viking combat scenario. I know of a couple places I can do that here in the States. I just got to get up to where they are and hope I can afford the fee. The third one, well, I'm not going to tell you what the third one is because it's not illegal. It's non-threatening. It's non-violent. It's just a simple trying to get Congress or the internet people to create algorithms to keep certain kinds of people off the net. That would be something I would literally enjoy. Because there's enough negative people out there in the real world. We don't need it here in cyberspace. I miss the old days where if you wanted to ridicule or slander somebody, you couldn't basically put it where everybody can see it. You had to play either the telephone game or act like a bunch of high school teenagers who are whispering things behind people's back or looking at people with disgust or things like that. Or something, that other people would see and, either report it to the principal or take it to the right authorities before it becomes so bad that the individual just can't handle it no more and does something stupid. I mean, haven't we heard enough stories about these teenage girls getting, bashed online where anybody and everybody can see it and they just can't take it to the point where they literally commit suicide? Come on, folks. Now, I know me and Jay are way beyond, suicidal tensions, but all these people, all these fans of Diane, all these fans of the bakery, all these fans of the reactionary, internet places, That's basically all you're doing is you're acting like a bunch of bratty high school teenagers that have nothing better to do but ridicule and make fun of a person because you don't like their looks, their energy. I mean, I don't have it. But I will tell you this much, if I had any form of cancer whatsoever, no matter what the level was, and I were to talk about my journey here online, and if somebody would say, you have too much energy or you look too healthy to have this kind of cancer, I'd be like, well, that's your opinion. I am not listening to you. I'm listening to my doctors. And then I'm taking that information and I'm deciding to turn it into a positive thing. During the week of my birthday on Facebook, I set up a fundraiser for St. Jude's Hospital. Or not St. Jude's, excuse me. It was a cancer research group. You know how much money I got from that? And I'm not saying how much money people donated. I'm saying how much money I got from being, trying to sponsor these people. Zero. Skata. Nada. Nisht. Nothing. I didn't want anything for my birthday. I wanted people to get better. I wanted people to have the right kind of facilities and research to help them with their cancer. Now, if Jerry didn't have cancer, I probably would have done that for National Wildlife Foundation or some other nonprofit organization where I would have gotten no kickbacks. The only thing I would have gotten was a thank you for your assistance or thank you for the amount of money you helped us raise. I didn't want nothing. When was the last time either Jerry Ann or I actually verbally asked for your financial help? I don't think we've ever done that. I don't think we've actually physically outright asked or begged for anything. Yet we're called scammers. How are we scamming? I mean, let's see here. If Jerry and I were scamming, one, I would probably have my dream pickup truck. Two, we would most likely have, paid a good chunk of money for an RV. Two, I wouldn't have to be working. Or actually, that's three. I wouldn't have to be working. Four, this house would be much bigger. Probably telling me about a delivery. Okay, Alexa. I can think of 1,000 different things that we would have.
I'm not sure.
That we would have that we don't have now. Like a bigger house. Or at least a bigger piece of land with a nice sized house for me and Jerry, with a mother-in-law cottage for Mom, and then another cottage for Lisa or anybody who would come to visit us. Maybe 3 or 4 different outhouses. Mom's little cottage, 2 guest cottages, and then another building that was split in half so Jerry can have her craft room on one side and I can have my apothecary whatever on the other side. Do you see us having that? No, I don't have that. That and factor, I was raised simple. If you want it, you do it yourself. If you need to have it, you work your ass off to get it. I was not taught by the military, let alone my father, to panhandle. It's not my way. Not my way. So for all of you who think we're lying and scamming and blah, 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 and a negative, in the negativity that you want to forecast or project, You have no clue. In fact, if I were to go by the way my family taught me, the people who are claiming that you're begging or scamming or doing anything that's basically wrong when you know you're not doing that, they're the ones who are doing it. And they're the ones who want to project their problems and what they do in their life onto you because they have issues in their own life. And instead of accepting the issues and working to fix those issues, they want to deny those issues and project them on good people. Yeah, that's what I was taught. And I was taught this not only by my father, who, one, was in the military, two, was raised in Chicago during the 40s and 50s, when 9 times out of 10, their meal of the day was homemade biscuits and gravy, or sometimes just biscuits. Living off of government cheese, working their asses off. If I remember correctly, my dad's story was his father was a steel worker making minimum wage, barely enough to pay for their living conditions, while Grandma Henson was a housewife. I think maybe he said that for a time that she worked at a diner or something like that. And that's how he got into working with foods, because one of their best friends had his own pizzeria. And, well, everybody called him Papa John, but I don't think that was the original Papa John that we know today. I think this is just a local Chicago pizzeria, you know. I've heard the stories from my father in their living condition. And he wasn't a single child like I am. He had brothers and sisters. You know, there's Uncle Tom, his brother. I can't remember the other brother's name because we don't hear much of. Oh, Uncle Jack. Uncle Jack, we didn't hear much about because of issues that he had during his teenage years and had to be on the run the rest of his life. Then there was 3 or 4 sisters, and he would have been the second in line, but the youngest sister, I think, passed away. I don't know if it was during birth or because of something after birth. But his one sister, who was older than him, I think she was the oldest out of all the family members, Aunt Kay. And Aunt Kay was kind of a feisty, well, so was, I think she took over after, I think she took up after her mom. But, yeah. You know, he did not have an easy life growing up in Chicago. You know, if it wasn't for the Vietnam draft, who knows where he would have gone, or what, you know, what his life would have been. But things happen for a reason, you know. But I mean, the way he grew up and the environment he grew up in during his childhood, he could have come out like one of you trolls, bitter, nasty, just not happy with their life, trying to project, you know, his you know, his problems onto other people. No. In fact, I don't know of any single family member on his side of the family that does that. Through all the hardship they went through, they came out to be very positive, forward-thinking, hard-working, do whatever they had to do to earn a meal, let alone, you know, income of any. My father would have rather died in his boots than tried to run some sort of scheme or whatever to scam people out of their money. No. Personally, this is my personal thing. I don't know how much people pay for internet. I don't know how much people pay for anything. I work to earn my income. This is a job. It brings me in an income. Simple as that. I come in here, I talk about my life, I talk about different things. Boom. That's part of the income. Because the commercials that get set up, that's part of the income. Without those commercials, I probably wouldn't be making much. And the only reason why you don't see 15,000 little breaks in my chats is because I want you guys to be able to sit down and watch me with maybe 3, 4, 5 breaks in the video, depending on how long the video is. I could be earning more money by putting letting all the different extra commercials that YouTube embeds into my video, unless I remove them, than having you I could be doing that and getting more money from the commercials. But I want you guys to be able to sit down, watch my video, enjoy it, not have to deal with breaks every 4 or 5 minutes. I'd rather be like, okay, this is a 30-minute video. We're going to try to put in 3 different breaks. That way I do have a little bit of income from the videos. But if I have a video that's not a live video, that's over an hour long, it's like every 10 minutes I put in a break. That way you guys can sit and enjoy. And if you're not enjoying, well, either A, you're not enjoying because you don't like something I'm saying, or B, you're just not really interested in my video in the first place. You just, hey, let's see what this guy's talking about. Or you joined and said, he has some decent videos every so often that I'm interested in. Let's go ahead and, stay with this channel. Why you joined, what your purpose for joining or anything like that's on you. I don't have a method of saying, hey, you're either going to join or we're just, we're going to just wipe out your profile. No. I have no way of forcing anybody to join. I have no way of forcing anybody to do anything. That's not my gig. My gig is trying to live in harmony with what I have and the people around me and the people who want to listen to me. But I'm not going to bend over backwards to appease every little Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes across. That's not me either. I can tell you that I get up every morning. I have to take a regimen of medication. Some of it prescribed, some of it is just supplementals. Like my vitamins, those are mostly supplementals. I have 2 prescribed medications. That's a B12 and a B6. Or not a B12. Is there a B? No, it's a D, not a B. It's a D3 or D4. I can't remember. I'd have to go look at all my medications. I don't remember them by name. Most of my medications are prescribed except for E, fish oil, niacin, melatonin. But I have prescribed medications for allergies. Allergies, cholesterol, that B or D, whatever it is, for energy. And then I also have one for anti-anxiety. I'm hoping here in the near future I can not have to worry about those medications anymore. But anywho, I have to get off this. I have several things to do that I want to get done before Jerry gets back from her outing. So I will hopefully see you guys on the flip side. So you guys have a good day. Enjoy. It's hump day. For some of you, it's 2 more days of work after today. For others, depending on what kind of job you have, you might have 5 more days ahead of you, and today is just day 1, or 4 more days and today is just day 1, depending. I know my cousin's wife, ex-wife, however you want to call her, she works in the medical field, and there are times where she's working a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row, with very little time to come home. And I don't know if that was part of the reason why the separation or what, but I still consider her part of my family, because whatever happened between the two of them happened between the two of them. Does not mean I'm going to be like, oh, so the two of you are divorced. Well, I don't need to talk to you no more. But that's not me. Once you're accepted, and you have to do something really heinous to be unaccepted. But that's my opinion. So anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments about this particular video, I accept all questions, comments. But like I said, I will not deal with negative people. I don't deal with that stuff no more. But if you have questions, please, as long, you know what? I like the idea of answering people's questions, because, I mean, I'm pretty much an open book. I just don't openly talk about certain things. Or maybe there's something I said, but I did not finish part of that, so. But, yeah. Go ahead and add your comment or question. If you're new to my channel and you choose to join, you can hit the subscribe button, and then you can hit the bell that pops up. So until next time, you guys have a good day. Bye.